Ladies and gentlemen, welcome tonight to another edition of NASCAR Heat 5 on the channel. Another full race live stream for you guys today. It is the Gander Outdoor Truck Series playoff opener at Worldwide Technology Raceway here in Gateway. This is going to be a fun race. We're about to start qualifying here. The round of 10, the first race of the round of 10 will begin for the Truck Series tonight. We are doing this race pretty much out of the blue tonight because we had yet another... Whoa. Okay, we're good. Started echoing there for a second. I didn't realize I had the volume up on the laptop. Alright, we're good to go. Sorry for that one. Alright, so anyway, get back into this. It is the playoff opener for the Truck Series. First race in the round of 10. Regular season champ Matt Crafton comes into play today. That is who we are racing at as for this season. Starting things off here. Just one lap to try and set the quick time. Going to be one of the longer races of the season, 160 laps, and it is in being the playoff opener. Most of the races on the Truck Series schedule obviously pretty short, especially in the playoffs. These guys are going to have to go at it here tonight for all they can. Every spot, every point matters at every stage, and obviously a win guarantees you a spot into the round of 8 in the playoffs. So all 10 of those drivers are going to try to go for the win here tonight, lock themselves in. Crafton's race truck seems a little on the tight side here in qualifying. Probably going to have to loosen that race truck up going into the race. At the line, it'll be a 34.403. 11th fastest for Crafton in qualifying. 33.677 is the pole time for tonight. And Grant Enfinger will be starting on the pole. Johnny Sutter will be starting outside pole in second. So an all Thor Motorsport front row with a couple of playoff drivers nonetheless. So here we go. Under the lights at Gateway. On a Tuesday night, Jennifer Jo Cobb, Brett Moffitt, and Josh Reaume will be starting at the back. Though Reaume, it was because of a poor qualifying effort. Moffitt and Jennifer Jo Cobb have to drop to the back due to inspection failures. And here we go. Green flag about to wave, and we're underway at Gateway. Truck Series playoffs underway. 35 laps in stage 1 here tonight. So they go off into turns 1 and 2. Very tight first turn. This guy's going to try to race for everything they can get. They're 3 wide down the back straightaway already. Watch Rhodes and Crafton. They're 4 wide into turn 3. Crafton sends it in there. Trying to get around Jordan Anderson. Ben Rhodes had a huge run. Contact between the 21 and the 88 now as they exit turn 4. And Grant Enfinger will lead the first lap of the playoffs. Ethan, welcome to the stream. After really rolls it in a lot deeper. And he's on the outside. He's trying to get back down to the bottom of the racetrack. He's just not able to right now. He's got Zane Smith underneath him. They're going to be 3 wide into turn 1 as Crafton goes up the middle between Smith and Creed. And he finds his way on the bottom. And Zane Smith puts the bumper to Matt Crafton. 3 wide on the outside goes Christian Eckes. He gets held up now. Crafton got tight after the contact on corner entry from Smith, who uses the bump and run to get himself up to 6th. And Johnny Sauter, meanwhile, last lap took the race lead away. And it is Sauter leading the field. Eckes with another run. He's really getting the outside to work very well. Crafton stuck the bottom right around the curbing. Eckes didn't care. Couldn't quite pull up in front of the 88, though. Crafton drove it in deep to try and keep Eckes from clearing him. Eckes, a non-playoff driver. Oh, some contact. Austin Hill got into that right rear quarter panel of Matt Crafton now. Hill looking to go up the middle between the 18 and the 88. That is not going to work here. Way too flat of a racetrack to be doing that. We have already seen 3 wide a couple times and 4 wide on the initial start, but we'll see how this is going to go. 3 wide into turn 1. Contact! Crafton got into Smith. They're 4 wide now. Austin Hill to the bottom of the racetrack. Crafton got tight again. Here comes Tanner Gray out of nowhere. Another non-playoff driver into the top 10. These guys are racing hard in the opening laps. You can tell it's a playoff race right from the get-go. Short stages in the Truck Series too. These guys are going for every point they could get. Austin Hill going to work on Ben Rhodes for 5th. Looks to his inside, going off into turn 1. Meanwhile, Crafton drives it in deep, trying to get to the inside of Eckes into turn 1. He does. He slides the tires. Up the track he goes. Trying to stay in the left rear of Eckes. Trying to side draft him. Couldn't get the power down in time, though. Eckes really just throws it into the corners. Notice that when he was on the outside as well, trying to make passes in the first couple laps, that he was driving it in really deep into the corners. These guys just kind of train around Ben Rhodes. Crafton trying to get underneath the 18. Didn't clip the grass there. That was the curbing that just ran over. And as you guys know, on this game, you hit the curbing and grass still flies up. We're going to alternate to the different camera angles for the first time in the race today. This guy's not going to have to make a pit stop in stage 1 at least. Crafton just bullying it in there. 6.5 seconds off the race lead in that 8th spot right now. Tell again though, these guys are beating Crafton back to the gas mainly because of how deep Matt Crafton is driving it into these corners in the first place. Sage Castillo, welcome to the stream. Oh man, loose moment going into turn 1 for Crafton. Kind of clipped the grass. Truck just turned immediately left. Sage are running at Worldwide Technology Raceway tonight. Here in Gateway. Johnny Sauter's just pulling away from the field right now. The track is just about 1.5 miles in length. Not quite 1.5 miles. Oh man! Crafton almost hit that point in the wall. That dangerous area of the wall down the back straightaway, and he got into the side of Eckes trying to squeezed in there. There was room to the outside, and it closed up very quickly. That could have been a lot worse than what it ended up being. That would have been a head-on accident. Eckes did not give him a lot of room, that's for sure, but if it wasn't for making contact there, I don't even think they would have made it through the corner. Still not able to clear Christian Eckes. We are using the controller for this race here tonight, by the way. Crafton now tries to cross Eckes over to the inside. And he's there down the front straightaway. And he'll look to the inside of Tanner Gray now in the 15. Not quite going to get there. Eckes is trying to hang on. Got a fighter tonight, I'll tell you that much. Crafton finally clears Eckes. All over the back of the rookie. Enfinger, pole sitters falling back to 5th. Crafton again looked to the inside of Gray, couldn't keep it going. Enfinger washes up a little wide off of turn 2. Gray looks to the bottom. See if Tanner can get a run maybe. On Enfinger, he's got it. 3 wide up the middle goes Crafton between both. The 98 and the 15. Is he going to complete the pass? Yes, he will. Off of turn 4. What a move by Crafton. That'll move him into the top 5 for the first time today. 20 laps to go in stage 1 now. First lap truck coming up. I believe that might be Josh Rayun. And again, Johnny Sauter is gone right now on the field. Crafton caught Rayun in a terrible spot there getting into turn 3. Crafton pulls now down the back straightaway to the inside of Austin Hill. Ross Chastain for 30 gets to the inside of now into turn 3. Oh, Chastain got loose. Lap truck on the inside, though, of Greenfield. Look at Chastain trying not to give Crafton any room, and they split him 3 wide off of turn 4. And they're still side by side for position. Mike Harmon might get in the way now. Crafton beats Harmon to the inside, but not Cobb. Chastain about ran into the back of Harmon, who costed Chastain on the outside as Crafton is trying to chase Stuart Friesen now for second. To the inside goes Crafton. And he's up to second place. Sauter's lead is dwindling more and more lap after lap. He's 2.5 seconds ahead of Crafton. There's still 15 laps left in this opening stage. Plenty of time for Crafton to run him down. There will likely be pit stops at the end of stage 1 as well. Battle for that playoff point, and as we're in the midst of the playoffs, it only means that much more, as well as the 10th point in itself as well for winning the stage. Just in case, really, for either Johnny Sauter or Matt Crafton, they can't get the win today. Next race is at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park for the second race of the round of 10, and then we finish out at Bristol for the final race of the round of 10 in this opening round of the playoffs for the Truck Series. Crafton deep into turn 3 again. He has closed the gap to just over a half a second off of Sauter. Sauter's got another lap truck of Riley Herbst right in front of him. We'll see if Sauter can make a move to the inside. And no, he's caught behind him. Has to go to the outside now. And Crafton just going to follow Sauter all the way to the outside off of turn 2. Sauter can't shut the door on him. Crafton's got to run, and Matt Crafton will take the lead for the first time tonight. Seen a lot of DNFs as of late on the channel, but one you have not seen all season is in the Truck Series. Matt Crafton has not DNF'd all the way through the regular season, now into the first race of the playoffs. And has the lead once again after leading now his first lap of the race with just 12 laps to go in stage 1 at Gateway. Quickly out to a 1 second lead. Sheldon Creed, here's the first playoff driver that is going to go a lap down. He's in the 22nd position. Definitely in trouble here. The only playoff driver that started at the back was Brett Moffitt, who qualified in the top 10 but had to drop to the rear at the start of the race after failing pre-race inspection. So we'll have to see how he can come through the field. Remember, Moffitt stole the last spot on points at Michigan last night. Went into the night 3 points below the cutoff line on Ben Rhodes and left the race 2 points ahead of him, outscoring him in both stages, and just by 3 positions finished ahead of him to get that final spot. Ben Rhodes was the first driver to not make the playoffs. Austin Hill's up to third now, too. He looked really fast at the very beginning. Took him a little extra time to get through the traffic. Top 5, all playoff drivers right now. You can tell the sense of urgency from these guys to get their stage points in the early going of the race. Davion West, welcome to the stream. Yeah, Gateway puts on a pretty good show, both for the Truck Series and for IndyCar, really, in the last couple of years. Seems like it's one of the hot spots as far as ovals are concerned to get another different track on the Cup Series circuit. Maybe we'll see that in the next couple of years as well. Christian Eckes into the top 5. I think it was only a matter of time before we saw that with how he was running early. Even these drivers not in the playoffs, they're going to fight all they can to get a win, especially really because none of them have a win that missed the playoffs outside of Clay Greenfield, who won the season opener on fuel mileage at Daytona. But he did not qualify for the playoffs because he was outside the top 20, and well outside the top 20. He finished the regular season 27th. Zane Smith in 15th, about to go a lap down now. So Smith and Creed have already put themselves in a hole going a lap down in stage 1, but at least it's only the first stage. They have plenty of time to come back from it. Gillen in 12th place, going to go a lap down now too. And a caution will come out late in stage 1. Wow, with only 6 laps to go in the stage, we get the caution. That's going to set up for a late restart in this opening stage. Going to see some pit strategy perhaps coming up? No. Oh. Let's see here. Yeah, Gillen gets the free pass in 12th. Crafton's going to hit pit road. Top off on fuel for fresh tires. We do have a tire limit, but being in the playoffs, trying to get every point they can, and Crafton wins the race off of pit road. That was the most thing I think he was worried about going in there. Still 130 laps to go at this point, but only a couple laps to go in stage 1. Who will win the opening stage of the postseason? Green flag back in the air. Just 2 laps to try and figure it out. Great restart by Crafton. Quickly jumping in front of the 13 truck there of Johnny Sauter. Crafton's truck is pretty tight on the opening laps of the run, but can he hang on in front of his teammate? Sauter very fast on the short run. You saw him break away from the field very easily, seemingly. Crafton just trying to protect the bottom. He's really going to try to make these guys pass him on the outside. Look at the run Austin Hill's got. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go in stage 1. Will we see a last lap pass to win the opening stage? Austin Hill to second with a move on the outside off of turn 4 to get around Johnny Sauter. He hasn't completed the pass yet. Oh, Sauter beats Crafton to the inside. Off of turn number 2, Johnny Sauter to the lead. Crafton going to try to get him back in 3 and 4. Drove it in there deep on his teammate. Up the track, a little touch. 3 wide off of turn 4. Christian Eckes. What a move. Eckes will steal stage 1 in Iowa. Sorry, at Gateway. What a move by Christian Eckes. Contact between Sauter and Crafton at the line for second, and Sauter got it there. Christian Eckes, what a move to win stage 1 at Gateway. A non-playoff driver nonetheless stealing the stage win. Followed by Johnny Sauter, who made the initial move to take the lead, and Crafton ran him up the track for the playoff point, and Eckes just snuck underneath both of them. Not ideal between a couple teammates, I'll tell you that much. And here we go again. We'll have another restart. This time we'll be starting stage number 2. And it has gotten even darker. Green flag back in the air. Another 35 laps like a Crafton 3 wide to the bottom into turn 1. Eckes lets him go. He did not want to be stuck in the middle there. So now you have Sauter on the outside, Crafton on the inside. Look at this. He's leaning on him again. Crafton driving it in deep. But Johnny Sauter clears it. Barely. Johnny Sauter out in front. Great restart from second to get the lead. Crafton again drives it in deep. Crafton's doing everything he can right now to stay with Johnny Sauter on the short run. Trying to get as much of a draft down these straightaways as he can as well. He's really driving it in really deep, and he pushed up the track. Sauter got loose. They got together again. And again, Crafton to the inside into turn 1. That 13 truck looks really loose. Having to hold the outer lane in the corner. Crafton still can't get around him. Ducks in line behind him again. That was a great drive off by Johnny Sauter. Crafton trying to sneak under him again, but he just couldn't do it. And I think he's just going to have to try and hold on for second now because Sauter's pulling away. Austin Hill's up to third again. Well, maybe not. Into turn one. Crafton drives it in deep again. Sauter throws the block. Crafton goes up the hill off of turn two. Here comes Austin Hill to the inside. For second, Crafton throws the block on him into turn three to hold on to second place. Good racing here tonight. Eckes, who restarted in the lead, is back to fifth. Battling it out for fourth right now with Tanner Gray. That was a good corner through 1 and 2 by Crafton. He closed the gap a little bit between him and Sauter. Actually pulled Austin Hill off of turn 2 as well. Big run into turn 3. Crafton looks to the bottom of the racetrack. Wow, he really threw it in there. And he got to the inside of Johnny Sauter too. Look at the run on corner exit by Crafton. Trying to side draft him down the front stretch and hang with him into turn 1. Oh, Crafton pushed it a little too hard. Sauter with the crossover. And Hill's back in the picture again. Crafton going to try to clear Johnny into turn 3, and he does. Sauter almost put the bumper to him. But not quite. Crafton is hooking that Kirby, not wanting Sauter to get back underneath him. Here comes Tanner Gray. Austin Hill to the outside of Sauter for second into turn 1 now. So he got a good drive off of turn 4. Crafton pushes up the hill again, but they're side by side for second. That's going to hold them up to keep from getting back to the bumper of Crafton's 88 truck. Yeah, it's pretty much like a flat version of Darlington. Same length of a racetrack too. The only difference is also, obviously it's egg-shaped, but at Darlington turns 1 and 2 are wider, or a wider arc, and turns 3 and 4 are sharper, versus here at Gateway 1 and 2 are sharper, and 3 and 4 is a little bit wider of a sweep. Top 6 trucks, so all nose to tail. Stuart Friesen, don't forget about him back there in 6th. Eckes did get back around Gray for 4th last lap, by the way. Crafton did a lot better on the shorter run on this restart compared to the first two between the initial start of the race and then at the end of stage 1 with that 2-lap shootout as well. These guys will not have to make a pit stop in the second stage. They did not pit at the stage break because everybody pitted at the caution at the end of the stage, knowing they were going to be able to make it on fuel and tires easily through stage 2. Why not pit then? Try the strategy call to win the stage. And it worked for Eckes, despite the fact Eckes is not in the playoffs, but he's still trying to finish as high as 11th in the point standings, so there's always still something to fight for there. Crafton slowly starting to pull away from Johnny Sauter. Hill still camping out in 3rd. Great race up to this point here tonight through the first almost 50 laps of the event. A third of the way home. Just over a third of the way home. These first two stages only being 35 laps each. The final stage is going to be 90 laps total, so a lot longer compared to the first two. They will have to make a green flag stop, or at least a stop at some point in time in the final stage. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. We're going to alternate to the different camera angles for the meantime for the second time here today. Owen Smith 27, welcome to the stream. Appreciate it, by the way, man. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, whenever I see somebody new coming into the chat for the first time over the course of the stream, I usually try to acknowledge it. I do my best at it, at least. And already hitting lap traffic early in stage number 2 now. It seems like they caught the lap traffic earlier in the second stage compared to in stage number 1. Austin Hills jumped up to second, getting around Johnny Sauter. Haven't really been able to see anybody pass Sauter outside of Kraft in the 2 times he's gotten around him already tonight. That's good for Hill. He's trying to get every point he can. We saw how close at the end of the race last night when we looked at the 10 drivers that were going to be in the Truck Series playoffs and what the bubble was looking like. There were 2 drivers, Austin Hill and Brett Moffitt, who are the 9th and 10th seed coming in, that are only 1 point out of the cutoff line. So just like that, coming into this race, there was already a pretty tight bubble battle. So with only 3 races in the, well, really each round leading up to the championship race, not a lot of room for error. These guys need to have a solid night for Crafton right now, trying to get redemption of stage 1, where he got passed on the last lap by Eckes and Sauter, and finished 3rd in stage 1. Nice, over 100 million. Well, granted, I guess 6 seasons in. That is a grind for sure. Tried to squeeze into a hole right there. He got to the inside of Riley Herbst on corner exit. Only 13 drivers are on the lead lap when we started this second stage. Anchor almost pulled up in front of Crafton. Crafton still was battling a loose truck as he got back into the gas off of turn 2 as well. Yeah, next Cup Series live stream is going to be tomorrow. We're going to Watkins Glen for the next race on the NASCAR Cup Series side of things. So that will be tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the start time for that one. I'll be using the steering wheel for that road course race as well. And then the following night, we'll race the Xfinity race at Watkins Glen. So a couple of road courses again coming to the channel. I had a lot of road course races recently. Road America, Mid-Ohio, I believe, last week. Yep. Yeah, again, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow evening. The start time for that one. Only 3 races to go. Blaney's got a deficit right now to try and catch Hamlin for the regular season championship. Should be a lot of fun over the last 3 races to see if he can get it done. 3 pretty good racetracks as well. Should be a fun one at Watkins Glen, and in all reality, it should be a pretty fun one after that as well at Dover and then Daytona. Oh, got it in the back of Boyd. Didn't move to his inside quick enough off of turn 2 and flipped his left rear. A bit of damage to the front of Crafton's race truck. 10 laps to go. This time by in stage number 2. 3 wide to the inside underneath the lap trucks. It's gonna get tight. Tough to do that at this racetrack. Crafton clears the 45 and the 32 though. Great passes. An 11-second lead on Austin Hill now. Crafton seems to be doing a lot better in stage 2 compared to stage 1. I think he wants redemption after having the stage slip away from him last time. He does have a lot of stage wins on the season as it is coming into the playoffs. And he's sitting comfortably above the cutoff line, but we've seen slip-ups in the Cup Series a lot recently on Heat 5. And although there has not been a DNF in the Truck Series all season for Matt Crafton, we'll have to wait and see if we still get through these races. We have some of the tougher races on the schedule in the playoffs. Got Bristol coming up in a couple races. Granted, it's only 200 laps in the Truck Series, but still. And then our next race is the first and only road course race of the Truck Series schedule as well as we go to Canadian Tire. And now we have a caution. Late in stage 2, caution has flown. Natalie Decker going to hit pit road back in 10th. Not many drivers on the lead lap. That's an interesting call. Gustine will get the free pass at 13th. Crafton's going to elect to stay out here, trying to conserve and save the amount of tires we have. Again, we still have 3 sets left for the rest of the race, and it doesn't look like anybody else will hit pit road right now, at least. Thankfully. Looks like the accident happened in turn 1. Or maybe off of turn 4 even. Truck up in smoke there down the backstretch. So here we go. Front stretch, rather. Yep, Talladega coming up as well. Martinsville. Another championship race at Phoenix, one of the tougher tracks on the game. Green flag back in the air. 5 laps to go, stage 1. You got passed on the last lap in stage 2. You got passed on the last lap in stage 1. Now the good news is, these guys are on equal older tires, which is going to help Crafton on this restart outside of Natalie Decker, but Decker restarted way back in 12th. So we'll see if the fresh tire advantage can work out for her. We saw a non-playoff driver of Christian Eckes win stage 1 as he saw Crafton go way wide in turn 3. Decker's got a lot of trucks to pass on a flat, hard racetrack to pass trucks in general. Seen the bumper be used a couple times tonight, both to Crafton and from Crafton. Trying to keep an eye on Decker, see where she's at. Johnny Sauter going for second to the inside off of turn 2 now. Side by side for second place. Sauter underneath of Austin Hill. Sauter finished second in stage 1, trying to at least do that once again. Decker's still caught back there right around 7th or 8th. Yeah, well, Darlington's not in the Truck Series playoffs. This could be a tough track to navigate, too. You've seen some drivers have their minor issues. No major issue yet. Seen 4 wide already. And Natalie Decker's up to 4th place. She is giving it a run for their money at the front of the field. Still got 2 more trucks to pass before Crafton, and there's only 2 laps left. She's getting up through there. The fresh tires are paying off. Again, these stage points don't mean as much for her because she isn't in the playoffs, but it was still looking like a good strategy call. She gained track position. She was in 10th at the time of the caution. Now she's up to 2nd. And it just took her too long to get up to that point. We're coming to the white flag, but we kind of expected that. It took her too long, but it didn't take her long in the grand scheme of things. Less than 4 laps to get up to 2nd place. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. Stage number 2. And Matt Crafton is on his way to winning his first stage of the night. Eckes, who won stage 1, isn't even in the top 5 right now. He fell back on the restart. Austin Hill still hanging on to 3rd, Sauter in 4th. 1 more corner to go for Crafton. Off of turn 4, Matt Crafton wins stage 2. Another playoff point to add to his resume this season. So we try to get Crafton his 4th career Truck Series championship this year. Just 6 more races to go after this one for the Truck Series side of things on Heat 5. Tim Irvin, welcome to the stream. Yeah, and my favorite driver in the Cup Series is Ryan Blaney. Has been since he came into the Cup Series. I was following him quite a bit when he was coming up through the ranks, running some ARCA truck and Xfinity races part-time. Never ran a full season in either 3. Well, I can't remember if he ran a full season in ARCA or not, but I know he did run a full season in truck and Xfinity. He was doing some part-time gigs for Penske, Tommy Baldwin Racing, raced for Keselowski's team in the Truck Series when he was down there. So 90 laps in the final stage. Decker's the only one that stays out of the pits here. Wow, Crafton lost 4 spots on pit road. 3 spots, actually. Figuring Decker stayed out of the pits. He'll restart back at 5th. Green flag back in the air. We saw the outside work at the beginning of stage 2. Let's see what stage 3 will bring. Crafton 3 wide. Wow, look at Sauter. Man, he drove it in there really deep, too, on the outside. Austin Hill trying to get around Natalie Decker. He's hanging in there. Now Decker's on older tires. And she's probably going to go straight backwards. Sauter going to try to get to the outside. Man, Sauter just keeps getting loose. We saw that last stage. Johnny Sauter was really letting that truck hang out there. Crafton to the inside of Decker for 3rd. She'll start to go backwards. Sauter all over the back bumper of Austin Hill, looking for the race lead. And these guys have to make a scheduled stop at some point in time in the final stage. Pit window won't even open up for about another 30 laps or so. Guys can go just under 60 laps on a full tank of fuel here at Gateway in the Truck Series. Tanner Gray trying to run down Matt Crafton as Crafton's caught in traffic. He's not able to keep up with the top 2 right now. What you saw back at stage 1 as well. They get the racing up there. It's going to help Crafton quite a bit. Sauter's trying to get to the inside of the 16, but as soon as he pulls out of line, the run just not there. It is a mad scramble back there for 5th on back. I think these top 4 are proud and thankful that they're away from it. Look at that. Oh, Crafton a little tight off of turn 2, and Tanner Gray will move up to 3rd. Sauter is not there. Hill throws another block. Sauter's literally all over him. You wonder if he's going to use the bumper one of these times. Eckes, meanwhile, will get around Friesen for 5th. Tanner Gray starting to run the top 2 down. He's less than a second off the lead. See what Gray's got. Closest he came to a win was a runner-up finish at Eldora towards the end of the regular season. Thought he might have been able to pull off an upset. He battled for the lead all the way through the first 2 stages, but the final stage he just wasn't the same. Crafton just really pulled away in that final stage of the race to go on and win. That was the race in which he clinched the regular season championship. Yeah, it's a pretty fun racetrack. It's very unique. No other track on any of the top 3 series in NASCAR quite like Worldwide Technology Raceway, so definitely makes for a unique and fun drive, that's for sure. Crafton driving it in hard into turn 3. Trying to get right back at the 3rd place driver of Tanner Gray once again. Sauter still can't get around Austin Hill. Look at the run Crafton had. I think he was just letting the truck really roll through there, and that's why he went to the outside of Gray. Diamond that corner off, cut it on corner exit as well, and get a little bit better drive off, kind of like we were seeing at New Hampshire in the Cup and Xfinity race. After trying to do the same here, is a little bit more banking in turns 1 and 2 here than New Hampshire. 3 and 4 races a lot like New Hampshire does, only there's no apron that's existed there. You kind of got to use some curving. Crafton to the inside of Gray for 3rd. Moves up in front of him. Gray going to try a crossover. Off of turn 4, Crafton beats him back to the gas. Oh man, that was a risky block, but he pulled it off. Off of turn 4, I thought for a moment there we didn't have him cleared, but Gray might have given Crafton the leeway with him being a playoff driver. That is very well possible. Sauter desperately trying to get around Hill. He knows he wants to get around him and run away with it like he saw at the beginning of the race today. He's capable of it. It's just so hard to pass the leader. Unless there's lap traffic in the way. We still got a little bit before lap traffic. Sauter just keeps driving it in just a little more flat. And he sees Crafton closing in as well. He knows he's got to get the job done quick. Hill just keeps beating him back to the gas because of how deep Sauter's able to drive it on corner entry. And Hill hasn't made a mistake yet. Crafton's pushing hard. And we have a caution. 77 laps to go. This is the 3rd caution for incident tonight. Grant Enfinger, Ben Rhodes, Gilliland, Dean, Decker, Little, all hitting pit road. Fogelman will get the free pass in 15th. And of the playoff drivers back there, Gilliland and Enfinger, they're trying a little strategy. They're going to pit. Looks like the top 8 trucks are going to stay out. Conserve the amount of tires. We got 2 more sets the rest of the race. So we're going to wait. These guys cannot make it on fuel to the end from here by pitting now either. They'll still be about 12 to 15 laps short. So green flag back in the air here for Austin Hill. Crafton going to take it 3 wide into turn 1. Yes, he does, underneath Hill and Sauter. What a move. Hasn't completed it yet. Now he does. Off of turn 2. Crafton to the lead on the restart. But we know we've got guys on fresh tires back there. 9th on back. Some of them hungry to try and get to the front for the first time today, like Gilliland and Enfinger. Austin Hill able to hold off Sauter. Eckes going to get to the inside of Johnny Sauter off of turn 4 as well. And Johnny really needs to get to the bottom quickly before those drivers on fresh tires get under there. Otherwise, he's never going to get back to the bottom. He's going to start dropping through the field like a rock. We're going to alternate to the different camera angles one final time in today's race. 72 laps left. Wow, Crafton really overdrove turn one. A little bit more. He's been running it in deeper and then just arcing the corner in the center and getting it to cut off. Again, diamonding the corners off. But you can tell when he goes over the line just a little too much and kind of drives it in too deep enough to where he just can't get the truck to turn. Or at least turn as quickly as he wants it to. From the center off. There's Enfinger up to fourth. 2 seconds off the lead. And now he's up to third. Enfinger qualified on the pole, so we know he's got some speed. He just hasn't been up near the front since the very beginning of the race. He led the first 2 laps, and that was it. Started dropping back. He's been in the back half of the top 10 all night, but maybe now he's got a chance to run down Matt Crafton with those fresh tires. Crafton's got the clean air, so we'll see how that's going to balance out. Enfinger's up to second now, so Thor Motorsports back to 1-2 on the racetrack. No other driver on fresh tires has entered the top 5 outside of Enfinger. I think much like Natalie Decker, it might have taken Enfinger just a little bit too long to get through the pack of trucks, and Crafton pulled away just a little too much. Emmett Stewart, welcome to the stream. Go back to the normal camera now for the last 66 laps of tonight's race. Again, next full race live stream will be tomorrow evening, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it'll be Cup Series action at Watkins Glen. It'll be the lone race tomorrow. So we'll be using the steering wheel for that race. It is the third to last race of the regular season there. With the Cup Series on NASCAR Heat 5 again. These are the final seasons on NASCAR Heat 5 for the Truck, Xfinity, and Cup. So we're going to do everything we can. Get as many wins as possible on our way out the door for this game. Enfinger never really had a shot there. He was only 2 seconds off the lead, and he's starting to go backwards now. I mean, he's still in second. He's actually 3 seconds ahead of third, Johnny Sauter. Sauter was able to get back around hill a couple laps ago. Well, we got a handful of laps, and then we'll have lap traffic. Nice, nice. Yeah, we will still have a second season for NASCAR Thunder 2004, and that will be a fan vote for who will be the driver I'm going to use for that second season. That'll be the normal 2003 schedule, by the way, as well. We're doing a custom schedule season currently for that game. It'll be lap 100 this time by. Wow, look at that huge pack of lap trucks as well. And how congested it is with all the backmarker trucks at the rear of the field here. It's going to be as heavy of lap traffic as we've seen so far tonight. Oh man, 3 wide. There was about some contact between Jennifer Jo Cobb and Angela Ruck. Cobb really sent it going into turn 1 there as these trucks are still scrambling down the back straightaway. Fogelman trying to pick a line, so is Ruck. Crafton just trying to make his way through here as quick as he can. Man, almost got in the back of Cobb. Off of turn 4, he kind of missed time getting back into the throttle. Some big checkups going into these corners. 3 wide on corner exit. He was going to have to do that at some point in time. Look at this. Sheldon Creed is back here with these guys. Outside the top 20, he is 2 laps down now. And he is in the playoffs. That's a tough break. 2020 Truck Series champion this year in real life as well. So that is not ideal for Creed. Oh, man. 22 of Self about ran right into the side of Crafton. Crafton came in there with a head of steam, and Self didn't see him down there until the last second and just was able to get that truck high of him and kept from banging right into him. There's Zane Smith outside the top 20. He just keeps going backwards every time we see him as well. And now he is 2 laps down as well. Those guys are putting each other in a hole. Remember, 2 drivers get eliminated in the opening round of the Truck Series playoffs. And we go to Canadian Tire Motorsports Park in the next race, which is a wild card race of its own. Could get maybe an upset winner there of a playoff driver to advance into the round of 8. We really don't have anybody surprising in the playoffs, though, for the Truck Series. Pretty much all 10 of these drivers have pretty good equipment, so you can really make an arguable case for any one of them to win the championship. But we do go there next, and then again, Bristol is the next race in the round of 10. Second lead. Sauter's starting to close in on Edfinger again as well. Just over a second behind him now. 7 people watching currently right now. Hit the like button, everybody, if you're enjoying the race, the commentary, the video in general. And again, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We do these full race NASCAR video game live streams on the daily as I'm starting my young broadcasting career by doing this YouTube channel and trying to get the name out there so I can hopefully one day live the dream of broadcasting real races within the NASCAR realm. Captain's just going to keep growing that lead more and more and more. Now, here's the thing. He's obviously going to have to hit pit road. Him and really everybody, all 8 trucks that stayed out of the pits that were on the lead lap under that last caution will have to pit about a good 15 laps or so before everybody that did pit under that caution that is on the lead lap. Interesting to see when the pit stops will all be made. Maybe how many of those guys might even go a lap down as well. Caution, 52 laps left. Our 4th caution of the race, and we're going to be seeing some pit stops here. Second to last set of tires being thrown on the 88 truck of Crafton now. And we're only going to have about 48 laps to go when we go green. There's a truck up in smoke right now going into turn 1 that was likely the cause of the caution, and Tate Fogelman will again get the free pass in 15th and get right back on the lead lap. The only drivers in the top 10 that are not in the playoffs is Christian Eckes. Gustine is up to 4th. Tanner Gray and Natalie Decker. So we got 6 drivers in the top 10 that are in the playoffs. And 4 that are not, at least going into the pit stops. Crafton wins the race off pit road. 1, 2, 3 for Thor Motorsports on the restart here. Will this be the final restart of the night? Green flag back in the air at Gateway. Another great jump getting through the gears by Crafton. Eckes on that inside line. He won stage 1. Don't forget about him. Looking for his first win of the season at least. Something he can definitely fight for. Eckes has a run off the turn 2 to the inside of Enfinger for 2nd place now. Johnny Sauter was able to pull in line behind the 18 of Eckes after Eckes screamed right by him there, getting up to speed. These guys are going to be about 11 laps or so to the good on fuel from that pit stop, but we'll see if we stay green to the end and if we get any cautions. It might dictate if we'll end up having more stops. Again, still one more set of tires left for Crafton, so if that is the case, we will pit again. Oh, Crafton overruns the center of the corner. Eckes was just too far back to really capitalize on that situation, though. Definitely the best restart Crafton's had tonight. And everybody's on equal fresh tires, that is. Here comes Tanner Gray up to 3rd place now, getting around Johnny Sauter. Returns 1 and 2. Eckes is closing in the center of the corner, but Crafton beat him back to the gas again, giving him a little leeway in turns 1 and 2 now. Crafton a little tight off of turn 2. He has to lift, and he's still in the wall. Oh, and around goes Crafton off of turn 2. He couldn't control it after hitting the wall. Backs it into Tanner Gray. Cautions out again, and Crafton's night has come to an end. Unbelievable, and that is the first DNF all season for Matt Crafton in the 88 team. One mistake, the first he's made all night, with less than 50 laps to go, is going to cost him big time in the playoff opener. And that is going to put the pressure on for the next 2 races. Unbelievable. Only the first DNF in the Truck Series all season for Matt Crafton, and it comes when it matters the most in these final 7 races of the year. And we did score 18 stage points tonight. I'm going to have to do the points myself now for the Truck Series, it looks like, unfortunately. So we can add those stage points in with this. Just a little hit off the wall. He got out of the gas, but the truck just still kept pushing up the racetrack, and he clipped the wall enough to the point where he couldn't get off of it, and it just turned the truck right around. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What has happened here? Yeah, we'll take you through the finishing results to this race. There we go. There's the race results there. Johnny Sauter will get the win. He was running in the top 4 pretty much all night, and Johnny Sauter will get the win. Sauter now is advanced into the round of 8 in the playoffs for the Gander Outdoor Truck Series. Great for him. Another win on the season for Sauter, and he will be making his way into the round of 8. Christian Eckes had a great night. Won stage 1, finishes 2nd. Austin Hill finishes in 3rd. Great run for him. Natalie Decker, good run, finished 4th. She finished 2nd at the end of stage 2 as well. Tyler Ankrum finishes 5th. Good top 5 for him. Tanner Gray 6th. Brett Moffitt 7th after starting at the rear. That's pretty solid. Stuart Friesen 8th. Todd Gillen 9th, and Tate Fogelman will round out the top 10. So Johnny Sauter will be the first driver to clinch a spot and punch his ticket into the round of 8 of the Truck Series playoffs. To take a picture of the finishing results here. I'm only going to calculate the playoff order for the Truck Series, though. I'm not worried about getting every last detail. Man, what a tough break. What a tough day in general for the channel with these races. That is a rough finish for Matt Crafton. My goodness. Well, Might try to make it up tomorrow. I guess there's a good chance you might see a doubleheader on the channel tomorrow and Thursday. We had it scheduled for Thursday as it is. I didn't want... Man. I hate the fact that we're flying right through this, but we're not... at least in this one, we only had about 40 laps to go, but still... It's only 120 laps into the race. That is a tough break. We might do the second race of the Truck Series playoffs tomorrow as well. So be on the lookout for that. But we do know Watkins Glen will be tomorrow. We might be moving the start time up for that one just a hair. Probably just till 5 o'clock, though. Nothing earlier than that as well. Man, oh man, oh man. Well, that's going to wrap things up here tonight. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. So it looks like a road course doubleheader tomorrow. We'll go Watkins Glen Cup Series and then Truck Series at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Should be a couple of fun races. We'll start things off with the Cup Series race tomorrow, scheduled for now 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tune in for that one. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We do these full race live streams with a realistic broadcast on the daily. And hit that like button also down below. It helps with the algorithm. And getting this video recommended under other related NASCAR content. Andrew Hollenbach, welcome here. He just missed the finish. Unfortunately, it was not a good finish for us. And Johnny Sauter, again, goes on to win. He will advance to the round of 8 in the Truck Series playoffs. So we'll continue with the playoffs again tomorrow. Cup Series at Watkins Glen should be fun. Road to 1,000 subs, so hit that subscribe button on your way out. Have a good rest of your night, and I'll see you guys back and better than ever tomorrow. We will redeem ourselves.